Okay, good morning all. So as you can see on your screen that reflection transformation that we have seen. So two things were added to the previous concept that we were having, that was rotation, scaling, and what we were having is translation. Okay, so based on that we have seen few examples, few scenario that can come to us and how we can do this particular thing on our object. Okay, and then we move forward to this thing, that is few more things that we have in CG is reflection and sharing. Okay, so first thing was reflection. In the yesterday's lecture we have seen few like concept based on this reflection topic, how we can perform the reflection about x-axis, about y-axis, or if it is equal to y equal to x, or it is about the origin. Okay, and then based on that we have tried to like reflect our object in that particular region. Okay, so now here we have an example in which it says that find the coordinates. Okay, so this kind of example you can expect, okay, in the examination as well as in your like lab. So what it says is find the coordinates after the reflection of the triangle. The triangle coordinates are given to you about x-axis. Okay, so clearly it is written over here that is it is about the x-axis. So whatever region we want to reflect it in, and whatever thing we want to perform, it will be given to you. So over here it is about x-axis. So now you have to go to the previous thing that we have seen, that is about x-axis. Okay, so if it is about x-axis, then what it says is you gotta follow one transformation matrix that is given to you. What this transformation matrix says, that this transformation keeps x value same but changes the sign of y values. Okay, so this transformation matrix you just have to take it as it is and you have to put it in your example. Okay, so we'll keep it same and we'll put it in our example and we'll try to find the new coordinates. Okay, that is the resultant matrix. So over here, okay, over here we have like first of all consider this thing, that is a transformation matrix for about the x-axis and then the values. So it is 10 10 15 15 and 20 10 over here. Okay, and simply putting it in our homogeneous coordinate form so that we can get this matrix in the matrix multiplication form. Okay, and then simply multiplying each and everything, okay, row with column, column with row, and likewise you have to go and get the resultant matrix. So that is what it says. We got our new coordinates, that is 10 minus 10. Okay, that you can consider a dash and then b dash and c dash. Okay, and yeah, that these are the final coordinates after the reflection. So now you can put it in your notebook, you can check, okay, if these are the original coordinates that we were having, and after reflecting it about the x-axis, what are the things that changes. So once you consider this thing, but obviously you get a reflected image of the particular object. So that is about reflection. Okay, as I told you that yeah, you have to like practice this thing for each and every scenario that can be given to you. So it could be like about the y-axis or about the origin and all. So you have to remember this transformation matrix, and once you have this thing with you, you can simply apply it to your coordinates, okay, that is given to you, and then that's how you can calculate the resultant matrix. So till now we have seen this thing, that is translation, rotation, scaling, and then we have seen this thing, that is how we can perform it about an arbitrary point, that is the pivot point. And then we proceed further, then we have tried one thing, that is multiple thing, how we can perform it in a single go. Okay, so that was that multiple calculation thing, and then we have seen one thing, that is like based on the this how we can perform multiple operations like composite transformation or composite um, operations that you can perform. So we try to put like multiple things together, like multiple thing, if I say that is translation, scaling, and rotation, how we can calculate all of this thing in a single thing, in a single example. Okay, so now based on that likewise if you want to keep your like triangle or object at the same position and you want to like rotate it, and then again you want to scale up or scale it down, then what you can perform. Okay, so instead of changing the position of that object, if you want to like keep it at the same position, what you can do is you can try to like reposition it from the original position, and you try to bring it at the origin, and you whatever operation is given to you, whether it is like scaling or rotation, you perform that operation at the origin, and once you get the resultant thing, you again reposition it to the original coordinates. So that is what you can do. So basic thing is you have to do the inverse of that operation. Okay, if you have translated it, so you have to again inverse it so that it moves to the original position. Okay, so that was about this like transformations that you can perform on any 2D object. Okay, and reflection. So now we have one more important concept over here, that is shear. Okay, and what it says is a transformation that distorts the shape of an object such that the transformed shape appears as if the object were composed of internal layers that has been caused to slide over each other. Okay, so now we are slanting our object a little bit. Okay, so that is what it says, and we are trying to distort its shape. See, we now want our shape to look somewhat different, or if we want to slant it somewhat in our required position. So that is what it says. So we can use this concept that is available to us. It is here. Okay, so now instead of like keeping your shape as it is and then scaling it up or down, or instead of rotating it, what we want is we want to completely change it, okay, as per our requirement. So this is how it will look. Okay, so now what it says is appears as if the object were composed of internal layer that has been caused to slide over each other. Okay, so we are trying whatever things that we have in our hand, we are trying to like create internal layer kind of things, and then we are like actually sliding it over each other so that we get an effect that okay, it is like slanting forward or slanting backward or something like that. So basic thing is that, and you can forward, obviously you can perform it about the x-axis, y-axis, and likewise operation could be performed. Okay, so as you can see in the example, a kind of parallelogram or kind of thing you are getting out of the given shape. Okay, so that is what you can perform. So based on the requirement, you can always perform such kind of operation using shear. Okay, so now here two common shearing operations, okay, that we have are those that shift coordinate x value and those that shift y values. Okay, so now based on these two conditions, we'll try to shift this thing. Okay, so shear in x direction. Okay, so this is how it will look if you perform it in x direction. Okay, so yeah, I'm like also taking this thing so that you get an idea that okay, how it will look after the operation, if it is the case of rotation, reflection, or if it is any other operation or other transformation. Okay, so you don't have to mug it up, or you don't have to just imagine this thing. Okay, so after shearing in x direction, this is how your object will look. Okay, as it is shown over here. So now shear relative to x-axis, that is y equal to 0 line, can be produced by the following equation. Okay, so now we are doing this thing with relative to x-axis and keeping y 0. Okay, so now how you can do is you can perform it with this thing, that is x plus shear of x into y. So basically what you are doing, you are giving some positive value and you are multiplying that thing with y so that you can like get something out of it. Okay, so over here transformation matrix is already with you and you can just take it for your purpose. So transformation matrix for this is here, okay, in x direction. So this is what you get. Okay, 1 shear of x 0. Similarly, area change, if we apply shear on any figure, area will not change. Okay, so basic thing is this. Okay, so now what Jinendra is trying to get out of it is like, if you want to change the position of this object, that you can do. Okay, if you are talking about position and if you want to shift it a little bit in the right direction or in any other direction, if it is up direction, okay, so that you can do. Okay, but area thing is different, that we have seen in the scaling. Okay, we wanted to like scale it up, you wanted to increase your area of your circle, of your triangle or something, that you can do with the help of scaling. Okay, so yeah, that is what I want to say, that you have to keep this thing in mind while doing this thing in the exam. Okay, exam also, because at the end the things would be clear to you. If I say you have to do something, you have to perform some operation on the square and you have to like transform it so that it appears to the user as a parallelogram. So in that you should get this thing. Okay, okay, acha, we need to perform some operation that will do this thing. So but obviously in our case it is here operation, and that is in x direction. Okay, so we'll see this thing also so that you get an idea that okay how it will work in actual scenario. So now SHX is shear parameter. Okay, so but obviously we can assign any real value to SHX. Okay, that is shearing in x direction. So now what it says is we can, okay, so this is one more thing. If you want to shift it a bit, like if you want to reposition it, then also you can do it and then you can shear it. So this is how it will look if you want to do this kind of thing. So we can generate x direction shear relative to other reference line, that is y equal to y reference with following equation. Okay, so we can generate x direction shear. Okay, this is what we have done, and relative to the y reference line. So this is our y reference line, as you can see in the slide. Okay, and for this purpose what you have to do is you gotta simply like follow this thing, that is x plus shx into y minus y reference, because now we are sharing it relative to the other reference line, that is y equal to y ref. Okay, so now try to imagine this thing, try to like see the figure, you'll get an idea that okay this is what we are doing and we are adding it to the x. Okay, so over here we have this transformation matrix with us that gives us this whole thing. Okay, so you just need to put your values in this matrix and that would be shifting your object out of the origin and it will reposition it in this way. So based on that, whatever value, whatever in x direction, whatever thing you want to move, whatever how far you want to go, you can simply do it with this thing. Okay, so now over here we have one example here in x direction. Okay, so what it says here, the unit square in x direction with shear parameter 1 by 2. So this value 0.5 is given to you relative to line y equal to -1. Okay, so things are given to you already. You just have to take out that transformation matrix and you have to put your values in it, as I say. Okay, so but obviously now over here we have y reference value equal to -1 and shear value equal to, okay, in x direction, that's why we have SHX equal to 0.5. Okay, so now considering this case coordinates of unit square, so now over here you could be getting this kind of things, okay, where you have to make your own like you have to put your own knowledge. So what it says is here the unit square. Okay, so but obviously if we consider unit squares, and then you'd be having this many parameters. Okay, so now you have to put your own knowledge. If the like coordinates are not given to you, but if the coordinates are there, then you can simply take that thing in your example. Okay, and then you just need to like put this thing and you have to multiply this thing with the transformation matrix just now that we have derived or we have seen. And yeah, so shearing in x direction, okay, with relative to line y equal to -1. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put our values in this thing, that is here x equal to 0.5, but obviously over here again 0.5 and y reference value is -1. So if it is not given, then you can simply go in that direction. Okay, but if it is relative to y line, then you have to take that value also. Okay, and try to put it and simplify it. Okay, and then multiply whole of this thing, so it would be giving you this thing. Okay, so based on that, what you are getting is the final resultant thing is 0.50, 1.50, 21 and 11. So this is what you are getting. Okay, so if you put it on the graph, okay, you'll get this thing that okay, now we are getting a kind of parallel kind of thing, okay, out of the original parameters that we were having. These were our original parameters, that is A00, B10, C11 and D01. So our resultant matrix, resultant thing that we have is 0.50, 1.50 as compared to the previous case 2, 1 and 1, 1. Okay, as you can see, over here. So this is one example of shearing in x direction, okay, relative to a y reference line, okay, and that value is also given to us. Okay, same thing is there, shear in y direction. So this is how it will look like. Yeah, okay, before shear and after shear. Similarly, we can position it, okay, in the upward direction, and we'll be having a different matrix for that. So based on this thing, what it says is shear relative to y-axis, that is x equal to 0 line, can be produced by the following equation. Okay, so over here x dash equal to x and y dash can be calculated by this thing, that is y plus shear x, shear y value into x. Okay, so this would be giving you a slanted thing. Okay, so now over here, but obviously now we are taking this thing, that is shear y value, so our transformation matrix will change. So now you can consider this transformation matrix for your purpose if you want to shear it in y direction. Okay, now again I'm telling you this thing, things are very simple. Transformation matrix, that's the thing that you need to remember, is a transformation matrix. So whatever direction that is given to you, whatever things that are given to you, everything will be there in the question. You just need to put the things that you have. Okay, transformation matrix. And even if this is the case, if there is one case in the examination, if you are getting something out of it, then also you have to like solve it, because if I say that you have to reflect your line about y equal to mx plus c, okay, so in that case you'd be having a different transformation matrix. So for that cases, we'll see what we could have. Okay, so don't get confused about like all of this thing, because these are the very simple thing that you can perform. Okay, so now over here now SHY is a shear parameter, okay, in this case, and what obviously we can assign any positive value to the SHY. Okay, so now what it says is we can generate y direction shear relative to other reference line, so that is x reference line. Okay, so it is it is given to you, and with the following equation we can simply perform it. So x dash equal to x and y dash equal to y plus shear y into x minus x ref. So okay, this is what you need to perform, and the transformation matrix for this is also given to you. Okay, so the thing that changes over here is minus SHY into X ref. Okay, that is the X reference point. Okay, and going in this direction, that is the Y direction, what we'll be getting is this thing. So what it says is here the unit square in Y direction. Okay, one thing is given to you in Y direction, this shear parameter 0.5 relative to the line x equal to -1. Okay, don't do this mistake in exam. Try to understand the question first of all and then go ahead. Okay, okay, fine. So now here, yeah, so x reference parameter is given, that is equal to -1, as you can see, and shear in y direction, that is SHY, is equal to 0.5 as it is written over here. Now putting all of this thing into your example, okay, and taking that whole thing, transformation matrix that we have seen just now is over here, that is 1 SHY, similarly 0 1 and 0 minus SHY into x reference, and then multiplying whole of this thing with our unit square to get the shear transformation. Okay, and doing all of this thing, you'd be getting this value. Equation is simple simplification and simple multiplication is there, and then out of that you'll be getting this value. So over here our resultant matrix is a dash, that is a, that is 0 and 0.5. Similarly for b dash you have 1 1, c dash 1 2, and d dash as 0 1.5. so this is what we have done. Okay, shearing in y direction, okay, relative to line x equal to -1. Okay, and that is what you have to consider, shearing in x direction, y direction relative to line, reference line. Okay, and the resulting thing would look like this as it is given over here. Okay, so that is what it says. Fine. Okay, So now I have few questions with me for today's lecture, but first of all, we'll try to finish this concept and then we'll start our examples because we have few things to cover for today's lecture. And yeah, so now the next thing that that the author says is like we need to also deal with the clipping part. Okay, so now if I say you have an object and you want, if I want some clipped part out of that object, if I say you have one object and I want the right portion of that object or left portion or some other portion out of your object, so what you will say that how we can do this thing. So what you have to do is you have to follow a new concept over here, that is clipping. Again, I'm telling you the same thing. If you have like seen the UGC net paper, there might be some question regarding to the Lange-Baske clipping algorithm or Cohen-Sutherland algorithm. These are the very typical things that exist. Okay, Cohen-Sutherland, these are the clipping algorithms. But now, before going to the clipping algorithms, we need to know the basics of it. And basics, if I say, then you need to have the knowledge of window and viewport. Okay, so what is this window pod and what is this viewport and how we can clip something out of it? Okay, so over here, area selected in world coordinate for display is called window. Okay, so it deals with or it defines what is to be viewed. Okay, and now this is one simple thing that shows you this thing. Okay, out of the given thing, out of the scenario, if you want to eliminate a particular thing, okay, so now this window coordinates, the window thing will only like focus on the things that you want to display. Okay, so it is not concerned, it will not go with the things where you want to display this thing or how you are going to display this thing. Instead of that, it will only say this thing or it will only give you one thing and what is to be displayed. So as you can see over here, we have one shape, and out of that you just want to display this part over here. Okay, so this will give you the respective things. And then we have one more thing, that is the viewport. So now over here, area on a display device, but obviously now we are concerned with where to display this particular thing. Okay, out of the given clip part where you want to display. So that can be defined with the help of viewport. Okay, viewport is nothing but area on a display device in which window image is displayed is called viewport. Okay, on a display device in which this window image is displayed, and that is known as viewport. So it defines where to display the whole thing. Okay, so these are the few things which we have or which we will be using in the clipping algorithms. Okay, so these are nothing but the coordinates. You can consider the parameters. Okay, and out of that we'll try to understand few things. Okay, so now we have a very basic thing over here. We are not like going with any algorithm or anything. We are just trying to get the basic thing, basic concept. We are just trying to understand this thing. Okay, so now in many cases window and viewport are rectangle, but obviously because we are dealing with our display devices that are rectangle in shape. Okay, also other shape may be used as window port and viewport. Okay, so in general, finding device coordinates of viewport as it is written over here from word. Okay, a viewport from word coordinates of window is called as viewing transformation. Okay, so you are given this thing that is the word coordinates, or you can say world coordinates. Okay, and out of the world coordinates, they are not dealing with this thing. Okay, these are the general coordinates that are given to you. Now what you want is you want to display that particular thing on your display monitor. So what obviously now your display monitor operates on the viewing port or the viewing coordinates. So for that you need to convert that thing, the world coordinates, into the viewing coordinates. So this thing is nothing but this thing is known as viewing transformation. Okay, so now sometime we consider this thing that is over here. Okay, we consider this viewing transformation as window to viewport transformation. Okay, so but obviously we cannot be doing this thing as we say. We need to follow some steps so that we could be doing this thing. Okay, okay, fine. So now let's see steps involved in viewing pipeline. Okay, so over here we have, first thing that we have is the modeling coordinates. Okay, so what it says, construct the world coordinate scene using modeling coordinate transformation. Okay, so very first thing that you do out of the real world, out in your notebook or in some sheet, what you try to do is you try to like model it. Okay, see, now you try to imagine this thing. We are not dealing with something that is on the display. Okay, we are trying to model something in the real world. Okay, so now we have a pen, paper, and we are trying to model that thing. We don't have any such kind of thing that we can put it on the display monitor. So that is what it says. Construct the world coordinate scene using the model coordinate transformations. Okay, now how this model coordinates will look, that, but obviously it is nothing but the thing that we put on our like pen or paper or in our software. Okay, then we have world coordinate to viewing coordinate system. Okay, so now we are trying to convert the world coordinate into the viewing coordinate. For viewing coordinate, that means this thing is to be like mapped to the things that we can view on the display device. Okay, so now this thing will map it to the, okay, map it to the like map viewing coordinate to the normalized viewing coordinate using the window viewport specification. Okay, but obviously you have like already faced this problem. The things, the coordinates that you operate on, or if you use it in your like actual scenario, if you use it in your on your like book, in your book, if you do it, but obviously you are not able to do the same thing on your display device, in your graphics or in your C program. So for that, what it says that, okay, we need some normalized viewing coordinates so that this thing could be mapped properly, even like not to distort that thing. Okay, we want our shape to be displayed as it is, even without distorting that complete shape. So we'll try to normalize it. Okay, and then what we'll be having out of it is map normalized viewport to the device coordinates. So whatever coordinates we have seen, we have normalized, now try to put it in the device coordinate. Just imagine this thing. These are nothing like कि भाई sir हमको ये like इसके पीछे का क्या है, मैट्रिक्स क्या आएगा, और what is the basic thing that we will use. These are just the like basic thing that you need to have in your mind while going to the clipping algorithm. Okay, so that you can easily get an idea that acha, these were our coordinates, and out of that we are trying to find that our line is there or not. Okay, okay, and that's the final thing that you would be getting out of it, that is the device coordinates. Okay, fine. So now here we have one simple thing that is given to us. The same thing that we have seen is given over here. So that is what it says, viewing coordinate reference frame. Okay, how we can obtain it? So we can obtain the reference frame in any direction and at any position, but obviously we should be like we can go in any direction. So for handling such conditions, what it says, first of all, we translate the reference frame origin to the standard reference frame origin. Okay, so whatever direction, again I am saying the same thing, whatever direction you want to operate on, what you do is you try to bring it at the standard reference frame origin, or you just simple keep one thing, you bring it on the origin. Okay, and then what it says is when we rotate it to align it to the standard axis. So for our simplified operation, or for our easier understanding, what it says that we rotate it to align it to the standard axis. Okay, once you have this case with you, what it says, in this way we can adjust the window in any reference frame. Okay, and then again put it back. Okay, again now perform the operation that you want to do, if it is some rotation or something, uh, and then adjust it. Okay, so in this way what it says, we can adjust the window in any reference frame. Okay, and that is what you can do. First of all, you have to perform the rotation, and then translation operation could be performed. So first, but obviously first of all we have performed the translation operation, and then we have rotated it so that it could coincide with our origin. Okay, so now window to viewport coordinate system. So now that is what it says, mapping of window coordinate to viewport is nothing but it is called window to viewport transformation. Okay, so now the things is that is what it says, we have something over here and we know what is to be displayed, but now we need to define it in our terms, that where we want to display this shape or this thing. So that we can define it with the help of viewport coordinates. Okay, transformation. So we do this using transformation that maintain the relative position of window coordinate into the viewport. Okay, so basic thing is that we are not distorting our shape, but instead of that, what it says is that means center coordinate in window must remain at center position in the viewport. So if this is the case, and if we are successful in achieving this case, or if we are successful in achieving this particular scenario, then what it says is then we have achieved the complete thing. Whatever thing we want to model, we have modeled it on our display devices if we can do this thing. Okay, so now we'll see this thing how we can achieve it. Okay, so now what it says, we find the relative position by equation as given over here. Okay, fine. So now here we have xv minus xv mean. Okay, these are nothing but the coordinates. Okay, xv mean, if I say, then we have this thing over here. Okay, and we are trying to map it. Okay, upon xv max minus xv mean. Okay, xv max minus xv mean. Okay, that is over here. So we'll see this thing also, so you'll get an idea. Okay, now similarly, if we want to do it in this form, that is in YV form, so we can similarly write this whole thing in this similar fashion. Okay, so you'd be getting YV minus YV mean upon YV max minus YV mean, okay, equal to YW minus YV mean upon YW max minus YV mean. देखो अभी क्या होगा ना, basic thing is कि आपको शायद confusion क्या होगा, because you don't know these parameters. Okay, these real things that you'd be having out of the window coordinates and the viewport coordinates. So क्या होगा, whenever we'll see this clipping algorithm, you'll get an idea that okay, these are the coordinates, these are the parameters that we are having, and out of the parameters we are trying to find something, or we are trying to map something. Okay, so once we go in that direction, you'll get an idea, acha, these are the things and this is what we want out of it. Okay, so we have completely like a solved thing with us in the clipping algorithm, and we'll be using this thing in that. Okay, so whenever we switch to that part, you'll get an idea. Okay, so now similarly what it says, now solving for x direction by making viewport as subject. Okay, what we get is this. Okay, so now, but obviously x direction, if you are going in x direction, okay, so by making viewport as subject, so what we will be getting is the whole thing that is given over here. Okay, we have just simplified the whole equation and we have subjected xv over here. Okay, and now what it says is, now substituting this thing, okay, putting sx equal to this whole thing. Okay, because we are like going in the x direction, we are solving it for x direction, we'll put sx over here. Okay, once we get this thing, we'll simplify it further and we'll put sx value in this case. Okay, so you'd be getting xv minus xw mean into sx. Okay, so now this is the thing that you can simply follow whenever you want to go in x direction. Okay, by making viewport position as subject. Okay, similar thing is to be followed when we want to go in y direction. Okay, same thing that we have seen for the like reflection or for sharing. Now we need to see this thing, but obviously because we want to map it out of the world coordinate to the viewport coordinate. Okay, similar thing is to be followed over here, keeping yv as a subject out of the given equation, and then what we try to put is we try to substitute sy with this thing. Okay, that is over here, and that is what we get if we want to go in the y direction. Okay, and that is what it says. So once we have all of this form, we'll be using it in our clipping algorithm. Okay, so देखो, now we have one thing over here. Okay, okay, see, so now over here you can consider this thing. Okay, now you'll be like confused कि sir ये like viewport के coordinates or window coordinates कैसे use करना है. So now over here we have one algorithm that uses this thing. Okay, what it says is, let read two endpoints of line p1 and p2, read the two corner vertices, that is left top and right bottom of the window, that are given to you. Okay, so that is over here. Now see this thing, that is xw mean and yw max, and similarly xw max and yw mean. So now this is what I wanted to tell you, that okay, if these parameters are given to you, what you need to do is you need to perform your clipping algorithm, your part that you want to display, on the display device. Okay, so now whenever we go to this portion, or whenever we'll see this algorithms, we'll see the whole of this thing, that okay, these are the parameters and how we can put it in our example. Okay, how we can like map this coordinates in our real example. Okay, and then we'll try to solve that thing whenever we are at this particular topic, that is the Liang-Baszki line clipping algorithm. Okay, so based on that, we'll see all of the clipping algorithm. Okay, and that we will keep in the next lecture. Now I'm sharing one file with you on the Moodle that have multiple examples for this unit. Okay, and you try to solve it, and with you, if you have any doubt, then you can ask me. And side by side, I'll be giving you the answers also. Okay, so that is with respect to the clipping. Okay, yeah, fine. So I'll now stop sharing my screen, and we'll see this thing.